Hello, hello. Bonjour, bonsoir. Salut. Anybody home? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good whatever time it might be in your location. Is everything working all right? You let me know. You let me know. Checking. Check. Checking sound. Okay. Okay, I hope everybody is doing good. God is good all the time. Hope you enjoyed your weekend and all the good stuff. So we're here for football and for friendship, family, and just talking. While we are waiting for people to join us, we're gonna try to fix certain things. How everybody is feeling. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Bam, bam. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell them to join us. Tell them to join us and have fun. Copied. All right. Okay, so we are trying to get the phone going. If anybody wanna call, so we can continue talking. So we're gonna do this. Take it out for now and see how it goes later on. So copy, paste. Thank you for stopping by, my friend. God is good all the time. Continue to smash the like button when I am trying to put the link just in case. Just in case. Because I can handle this. Boom. Done. Boom, boom. Okay. Pin it there on top. Yeah, the link is working already. Yes. Pop-up chat. Very, very good news for Chelsea fans because Hato been confirmed by Chelsea. So, very good news. The Blues are getting the business done on time. Not waiting the last minute as always. You know, you want all your players ready for the season. At Cobham, tomorrow is the day that everybody is coming back. Not everybody. Some of them will be allowed to take some extra days because some are trying to get new clubs. So we're not going to see everybody, but we will see some exciting faces at Cobham, including Estevão Willian. Remember him? Chelsea wonder kid from Brazil. Yeah. He's in training tomorrow, so we have a lot of content coming your way. Oh, man, I can't wait. Can't wait. And we have a couple of friendly games before the league start. So 2 games. Chelsea don't even have a preseason. Let's be honest here. You can't call that a preseason. It's going to be just light work. And then you start the Premier League. It might be very tough for them at the beginning because no preseason it's always complicated. But you know what? They are champions of the world for a reason. And everybody want to beat them. Everybody want to beat them. So they're going to have to be Very, very strong. Very strong to resist to attacks. All right, so I have everything fixed. You let me know in the comment if you can hear me, you can see me. Some feedback. What? No to Garnacho. So Garnacho becomes Garnacho like Lukaku. Are you? That is the new nickname for Garnacho, Garnacho. Okay, good for you. Yeah, Garnacho is dividing opinions in the Chelsea community. The majority of Chelsea fans, including me, I don't want him. But me, I'm starting understanding and accepting, because you can yell, you can say whatever you want on social media. It's not going to change anything. They don't make decisions based on you. So I will support him if he comes to Chelsea, but it's very difficult though. He got a very bad reputation, bad boy, bad attitude, and in a team like Chelsea where competition is very, very tough to even have a place in the starting 11. I don't know, even for himself. Why can't you just go choose somewhere where you can play week in and week out? Why Chelsea? Just to bring problems. Just say no, okay? Say no to Chelsea, leave, go to Spain, play for Getafe or teams like that. Go to Atletico Madrid. They are like 24 players from Argentina or something. That is just like Argentina FC. Go there, play football week in, week out. Why Chelsea? Hey, Garnacho, go to Inter Miami, play with the GOAT, Lionel Messi. Go to Al-Nassr, okay? Play with your idol, Cristiano Ronaldo. Why Chelsea? I don't understand, bro. Think again. You have to think again, because Chelsea fans don't want you. Well, you know what? Like I always repeat, the day that he will sign for Chelsea, my agenda is out of the window and start supporting him, finding something positive to say about him. Because are you going to hate for how long? 10 years of hate? You know? Are you not going to celebrate if he scores a goal? We're going to celebrate. So it makes no sense now, the signings, unless if they have like a plan B. You know, they know what they're doing and they know the players that they're going to sell or something. We don't, it's just confusing. This is the most confusing transfer in the history. Well, you just spent 60 million on Gittens, and you have the young Tariq George, who's amazing from the academy, who can do the job. You don't give him a chance, you want to sell him. And Pedro Neto can do the job from that side. Xavi Simons can do the job from that side. You have tons of options, and you choose to go and spend more money and get somebody who is a trouble maker. I'm speaking even French now. Trouble, it's French. I have to switch all the time, French, English. You know, somebody who is a troublemaker. You know what you're going to get from him. There's nothing special about that boy. But for some reason, Chelsea are determined to get him. I don't know. It's just like the way they got Joao Felix, people like that. You don't, I don't know. It is very difficult to understand this Garnacho situation, to be honest. So Romano took the pin. So on his pin for the last few days, it was Hato. Jorrel Hato. Now he took it off. He put Nunez. Darwin Nunez, because he's about to sign for Al-Hilal in Saudi Arabia. So Hato is in the past now. We have to look at the future. Who's gonna be next? All right, Mr. Phantom.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. So,
Yes.
like I said, Garnacucu, Kaku, or Garna Mudrik. I do not want Garnacho because when we bring troubled players in the past, they never work out, right?
Mm.
Even like David Luiz.
David
People,
Luiz worked though. He won the
yeah,
Champions
yeah,
League with Chelsea.
yeah.
It's
He worked a little bit, but it's we just don't need the kind of headache kind of player. We need I mean, even though Timo Werner wasn't any good, and we need that kind of player, the kind of player that doesn't cause trouble.
mm,
you know,
yeah.
um, that's the that's the prototype kind of player. Oh, by the way, if you have another guest, I'll just bow out because I don't. I have the battery heats up, so
No,
I
you
say
don't
what
have
I
to
need
worry
to say
about
here.
it. You don't have to worry about it. I
Yeah.
normally I go on the show to do it myself, but if people come, it's good. So it's not like I'm lacking
Yeah.
people or
Okay.
something. So
So there's stadium talk again because Todd Bowley really wants to move the thing to Earl's Court, which is absolutely awesome because then Chelsea will actually be playing in Chelsea instead of Fulham. So
mm,
everybody who's loyal to Stamford Bridge may or may not realize that the entire stadium is in Fulham.
mm.
Yeah, okay, part of the parking structure or whatever is in Chelsea, but that's not the stadium, right?
Yeah, at some point
So
the pitch owners need to understand that you can make your own history. It's not always you have to be there forever. You can start a history today. It's part of
yeah,
history. So people are more attached because of how long we've been at Stamford Bridge and all that. But if another opportunity open up where you can start a new history with a bigger stadium, more money, more successful, why not?
and actually play in the city that you represent, right?
Yeah, we're still in
That's
London.
important.
Technically, we're still in the
Yeah,
city
but
of London, but
it's yeah, in
yeah,
the borough of Fulham and Hammersmith.
in the county of stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of an East Fulham team.
yeah.
I know I say that I probably bore you with this talk, but it's
No, it's
true.
not. It's true.
I
It's
mean,
true.
someone on other channels said, "Well, it's within 15 meters of the Chelsea border." I said, "Well, 15 meters is still 15 meters. You're still
Mm.
in Fulham, right?" So,
Yeah, it's just
anyways,
like Arsenal and Tottenham. They always fight about North London. People will tell
uh,
you Arsenal were in the south and they just moved to north because of this and because of that. And Arsenal are gonna
well,
bring another argument to say no, it wasn't that way. It was this and that and that. So it's open up to debate, but the end of the day,
yeah.
it is what it is. You live there, you live there. You don't live there, you don't
Tottenham,
live there.
yeah, Tottenham really is in North London because it's located like near Enfield or whatever, but Arsenal is barely North London. I mean, it's like you could still call that Central London.
But they used to be
That's,
somewhere else. That is the thing.
yeah,
They
they
used
used to
to, and
be
then
in,
they moved to north. So they are like
yeah,
foreigners that came to our land. That's how Tottenham Hotspurs see them. They're like,
and they
yeah,
have a
man.
right to say that, right?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I haven't really followed, but all I followed, often been
Uh,
uh, discussions between the fans. So I never really pay attention to know origin, where you started, what stadium, and how did you end up by being in North London. I haven't like done any kind of research.
well,
Be,
yeah, if I was Chelsea, I would just rename the club, London Football Club. I wonder why someone hasn't
Oh, I don't
taken the
know.
name.
Or probably somebody or the owner or the founder got a kid, a daughter called Chelsea, for example. So the Chelsea name could come
Uh,
from somewhere else. Doesn't mean necessarily that you are from Chelsea, but it could mean something else. So we're gonna take it that way. Okay, we called Chelsea, but we, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean
Uh-huh.
like
Okay.
exactly just because we are from Chelsea, but it could be just because of something else, because of a name of somebody, you know?
Okay. There's a gentleman named Mackin waiting to speak. So, okay. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Bye bye.
All right. Bye. Mr. McKean, you are in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you doing?
I am doing good. It's Sunday, and Chelsea just announced Hato. So, yeah, it's 50-50 really in terms of if you ask about the club. It's 50-50 in terms of, you know, you hear, you are a Garnacho guy, right?
Actually,
So Garnacho
it's,
coming and you selling
if it,
Tariq George and
oh my God.
so many other little things that could make this
This
transfer
guy.
not to be this transfer been like 100% or 10 out of 10, but because of those little things that could be complicated in the future, it looks like the value of the window is going down.
You think so?
Hmm.
No, man. This is a good window, man. Then, and you know what? It's not even just Chelsea that's doing so well in the window. You get Liverpool that are overspending left, right, centre. You know, United are at the bottom, but they're still managing to get a player of, Champions League worthy. It's not that bad. It's all right, man. It's all right. It's not.
The window as a window in football is great because of the money spent, because of the quality. Liverpool winning it, you know,
Yeah, you
probably.
can't win
But I'm
every
talking
window,
now.
folks.
I'm talking about
You
like
can't.
Chelsea. I'm talking about
Yeah,
Chelsea.
you can't win every single one of them, folks.
Yeah, you can't. You're right. You
You know,
can't win. But
sometimes.
what I'm saying is, the
Yeah,
window is already a big win for Chelsea. Like we won, and then the add-ons that they want to put is just kind of you had a good party and then in the end there is a big fight and people hurting each other, like, you know, that it's just doesn't sound right in the end. Like, okay, boom, we're bringing Mr.
what?
Garnacho,
Yeah.
you know,
But you know what? His name is such a divider, though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
mm,
Just off that alone, yeah, it's not a
mm,
good reason to bring the player. Like that should be a red flag already. The fact that his name is so divisive, if you get what I mean.
mm.
But they're onto this guy. They're serious about him, and he's not that much bad of a player. You know, he can do stuff, but the only thing is the outside stuff doesn't match up to his talents. You know, so
But he's
I'm
not there
sure at
yet,
Chelsea,
though. He's not there, like,
yeah,
you know, people like Ronaldo, Messi, or somebody, you know, that man, even Yamal.
yeah.
Okay, he's you know, going out
So
with all the women or whatever. People are like, well,
yeah,
this guy got arrogance, and because he deserve it,
yeah.
he's that guy. But when you are you still in that level of Garnacho and you keep acting as if you already arrive, that is a problem, though.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel, yeah,
Mm.
if Garnacho comes, yeah, he doesn't have his brother interrupting and things, and he ends up being better than Gittins? What do we do?
That's good. That is a good thing. That's what we all want. It's not like I'm not one of those people that stay in the negative forever or stay in
Mm.
the positive forever and people will tell you, "Oh, keep the same energy." No. Things can change in football. You might doubt
Do you think that can happen though? Do you think it's
it
possible?
could happen, but do we? It looks like we are so desperate to get him. But my question is, do we really have to spend that kind of money when we have like three, four players already from that position, and even next season we still have people like Kenda coming and whatever adjustment we're gonna make, and it looks like we just piling those talent, and at some point it's gonna clash to the point where they are frustrated from the bench, and I don't want to see that.
And
They're still
and the
young,
mega
and on top of that, you can understand like Marco Correa, 27 years old, and then you have Hato, 19 years old. That even the age gap is telling you that it's gonna work because Kukurea is gonna be like the mentor, and then in 3 years from now, who knows? Maybe he will like to go and get the bag in Saudi, and by that time, you have Hato, who is like 21, 22, who is killing it already, who learned already from the great. So the succession is understandable. But when you...
But you know what, Oggs?
Yes.
I've been looking at... Sorry. I've been looking at his highlights here, Hato, because I've never heard of this guy before like that, you know? I mean, you knew a bit about him. But seeing his highlights here, this guy, he could be as good as Lewis Kelly. The way he's so good in the midfield, I didn't know. I didn't know there was such talent, you know?
Yeah, that's what I
He-
say.
he-
I'm not doubting about his quality. I'm talking about like natural succession, where a young player, you can make him sit on the bench. He understands that his time will come. But when there are so many of them, the same age group, and then he's on the bench and his friend is on the pitch all the time, it's not going to be the same reaction than Drogba is on the pitch and you, Lukaku, need to learn from the bench, or you, Sturridge, sitting on the bench. It's kind of natural. You understand that this guy at the moment is better than me. But a bunch of players who are trying to learn the same time, they are trying to develop the same time. So if I'm gonna sit on the bench, there is no way I am going to develop. I still need to play. And I see another kid who is younger than me or the same age as me playing. That's kind of conflict that I see is going to happen here. There is no doubt in my mind. Like I said, I am not one of those people, or Enzo Fernandez, or let's say Joao Felix is always bad. He's not gonna do this. He's not gonna make it. No. I'm a guy who is progressive. I see people. I work with a bunch of kids who've been in trouble, in jail and this. And they give me money to bring them to the society. And I see a kid growing to being a man, a responsible, get a girlfriend, get married. I see this. So I believe in people, even at work. You might be a very terrible at your work today. I still believe that with more effort and training, you can improve. So I'm not one of those people that will tell you, never. He's not going to. Hey, you're talking about freaking never. He's 19 years old. He's 20 years old kid. Never say never in somebody. But my problem is like, do we really need this guy here? And we have a lot of them already. Where Willian and Stivao is going to play? Kenda, when he comes, where he's going to play? We have Santos, that it was absolutely one of the best in the League One. How many minutes he's going to have on the pitch? So you start asking those little questions. It just doesn't make sense to me.
And Xavi Simons to add on top of that.
Xavi Simons is coming. That is a good point. It's just confusing me. Like, I don't know. And we know that our manager is very, very hard when it comes to making rotation. We are not known as a team that make rotation. We saw how we forced, like, Cole Palmer. He didn't train for 2 days. He got diarrhea. The guy is even skinnier than the way it is. You can tell pale skin, but he was forced to play. But you have Joao Felix on the bench. You have Nkunku on the bench who can play from the same position, but because Palmer need to be there, even with diarrhea, he need to play. So we We
Yeah, I
we
don't understand that.
we make
Yeah.
rotation only when it's like somebody has a chopped hand or a broken leg or something. It looks like we have a core of those players, only them, and just in case somebody got a red card or something, that we're gonna be forced to bring somebody. We are not known as a team that rotate. If we had a very good system of rotation, of giving players solid 20 minutes, solid 30 minutes, allow them to feel good instead of 3 minutes at the end of the game, or sit on the bench, wait and play against the bloody Barrow after 4 months. If we do a good rotation, we might be good. But I don't understand in the team that we don't rotate, and you bring so many talent who need games week in, week out to develop. How that is gonna be, I don't know. I've been just talking a lot. Mr. Victor is in the building.
Hi, brother Oz. Big up, everybody. Big up, Mackin.
Yeah, big up, big.
Yeah. I was listening in the background until I heard Oz's remark on the mistakes that we are doing in terms of bringing these talents in and letting a talent like Tariq go. I subscribe to that idea. I don't think Tariq is gonna get a chance only because look at his frame. He needs to develop a little bit. I mean, it's a shame. We are not a very patient club. In that sense, culturally. And then we also go out there and get in coaches and we give them these ultimatums. And since Chelsea is used to winning, which is not a bad thing. I mean, you are only going to stay in the limelight. People are going to discuss you as a club. Look at Chelsea is going to be on people's lips, or we will force ourselves on people's lips. Our fan base is growing worldwide because we win championships. So that is integral. No matter how great what is it called? Manchester United is receding. Why? Because Manchester United don't show up in these championships anymore. You don't see them in the finals anymore, and so they are receding in their popularity, and that affects your what is it called? Your negotiations for deals, for contracts, for what is it called? Advertisement in front of your shirt, for simple recognition, which the game needs for every club. So I know I've gone on a tandem for when it comes to that, but that means that you have to pick players that have some level of competence. Now you have to have an enormous amount of patience if you want to play just young people from the academy or elsewhere, because they need time to adjust. They need time to develop their own confidence. And at the moment where Chelsea is, if you want to feed it with more inexperienced players, you are going to regret, because of the simple reason that we have done so the last 2-3 years, and they are developing a little bit. The core wheels and the rest are all maturing. So if you want to show it up and go out there and maintain your position in the league table, and also advance to where your cup tournaments, you go to the semifinals and the finals, you need to bring in experience. The boys, I don't, which game was it? There was a game that Tariq George came in. I think it was our third game during the Club World Cup. Came in and scored, and he didn't
Yeah, it
even
was.
celebrate.
I think.
Yeah, and he didn't even celebrate. And you could tell that he's like, "Why am I not playing often?" Right? And then Kunku is sitting down. I know that Kunku knows that he's on his way out, but Tariq George is like, "Why am I playing often?" There are two ways to that. You would say that Tariq George is really, really, really hungry. He wants to go out there and prove. And without him, there was not a. He scored against Fulham, and Neto came in and scored a second one, and that actually started our revolution, coming back and also making it to the fourth. So they go home. They have friends. They see how marginalized they are. They discuss these things every day and night, and to their agents. Why am I not being included? Even though I'm pivotal to the success of this team. I'm the reason why we are even in the Champions League discussion in the first place. But I won't get a chance to play because they are bringing in all this. So I agree with him that he wants to leave, and I want him to leave. Even if he stays, I don't think Tariq George has what it takes right now to be featured in the Chelsea team day in and day out, because of the simple reason that all the 50-something people that are on the Chelsea list right now, as part of the squad or part of the club, should know that the culture of this new, or perhaps even the old regime, was to buy as many players as possible and what is it called? Filter it out and see who will stay and who will go, who will sell for profit. And with this new venture capitalist people that are in charge of Chelsea, it is even more the case, our culture. So that understanding should be there for these players. And it's cutthroat, hardcore, difficult decisions that these players have to make for themselves eventually. Why do people go to Saudi Arabia for the money? You know, you have to make decisions for yourself that will benefit you. So I understand Tariq George leaving. I don't blame Chelsea. I'm not going to sit here and accept young child,
Sorry, Victor. Sorry, Victor.
Let
A
me finish
question.
my point real quick. I'm not going to sit here and accept children left in and left right and not make it to a club World Cup like what we just did. The joy it has given me as a fan is going to last for 4 years. Only because we had people that were slightly matured who were on the field there doing the job, and we were not kicked out because we were a bunch of kids. It is important. Yeah, Maki, come in.
The question I wanted to ask you here: are we for sure, and are we 100% sure that Tyreek George is going to RP Leipzig?
Not 100%, but what is sure is like he's leaving. Uh, Leipzig or not, Championship or French League or Premier League, it doesn't matter. The point is he's leaving.
I mean, if he's leaving, going to a team like Leipzig, that would be perfect for him.
Yeah, and
All the great, it's a high level.
Yes,
it's not like
looking all the great players, all the English great players who have succeeded had to go out sometimes. Most of them,
Mount.
except for what is it called? The ones like Palmer and the rest that were lucky, just out of sheer luck, that we decided that
Mount had to go Holland and come back to do great.
All of them went out. All of them. Look at the guy in what is it called? The guy that he's
even Madueke, he did well.
The guy in doing well in Madrid. He had he's his brother. I've forgotten his name. The tall guy who wears number 5 shirt for the Madrid. His brother also plays for Dortmund right now. But anyway, we all know
Jude Bellingham.
Oh, Job, yeah.
Yes, all of them, and even Gyokeres had to go for a minute. So I don't blame him that he wants to go out there. When you go out there to these lesser leagues and you fit in, lesser in the sense of the quality of the competition, and you fit in and you are great, we will come and get you next year if none of these don't work out, you know. So you have to go out there and raise
that
your
is
value.
not a problem. I think you misunderstood me. My problem is not about loaning them out, but the problem is bringing players that probably are not even in their level. If you look at what we did with people like Disasi and Badiashile and all that, when you have like Gyokeres, for example, from the academy, you don't have to pay anything. He might not be in the level that you think, because Chelsea fans is everything else from another country is a diamond, and everything from Cobham is a garbage. They need 1,000 loans. We know how it goes. But my point is, you go out there and you make sure that you bring people that are better than what we got already, instead of like bringing people who are below them and pay them even crazy, ridiculous salaries and spend like 45 million, 40 million on people that you have them already in the team for free, and literally those kids from the academy, they are on minimum wage. I'm talking about minimum wage in terms of football, but they still get 10K a week, 20K a week. But you know what I mean? Compared to 350K that bloody Sterling is getting, that is minimum wage. So you still pay somebody minimum wage, and he got more quality than the big name that you brought and put on absolutely ridiculous salary. That is my point. So it's not like.
But hold on, Victor. 1 second. So do you think so you're basically saying Garnacho is not a better option than Tyreek George along
What
with
I'm
Gittins?
saying, Yes, for now, because Garnacho tell me really who's gonna sit on the bench, because even Tariq George is not gonna play because we already spent 60 million on Gittens. Who's gonna be on the
You see,
bench? And
you see. I think the opposite. I think Garnacho is a step up from George because George still tactically, George is not on the level
my friend,
of a
you're
Garnacho.
saying that because you haven't given the chance to the kid to play. When was the last time you saw George play 2 games in a row? 90 minutes. Let me finish. You
that is
don't let me finish. I'll
Oz,
let you finish.
Oz, that is exactly what we get just talking about here. It's not a culture that allows that. Chelsea is not the team that will allow you to develop like that. Even if there is talent along the way, there's so much pressure on both, on any all of the stakeholders, from the people who own the club to the people who actually hire the coaches themselves, and the footballer themselves. You will be kicked out. So if you are not improving, and there is a good aspect of that. That is why we win trophies. But at the same time, we are not also. If you are going to allow people to develop, pragmatically and slowly and take your time with them. Yes, of course, there are some cultures like that. There are some club philosophies like that. Go and do that with all those clubs. It's not
Okay,
Chelsea. There is a Spurs and the rest who will take their time. They win one championship and they are content.
Okay,
Chelsea,
so
we are already looking for the next. So for me, and I know you wanna ask Bobby to come in, but for me, the point still remains that Tariq George needed to go outside. Now you contend that we go in and bring in players that sometimes are even lesser in terms of quality. That was then.
for me,
When
it's
these
okay.
guys went,
Loan him out. Just don't bring Garnacho. Even if we loan
there is
Tariq
some
George, there is no need immediately for that guy
Garnacho
because we
saga.
have so many players to
Yes,
cover that position. What is the point?
Garnacho saga. I think I did talk to you about the last time you were on. That Garnacho's thing is probably somebody in the hierarchy of football, of the powers that be at Chelsea who loves him, or if and they always keep bringing his name. The guy wants it, and that same person may have connections with the people who post all the time in terms of Fabrizio and the rest, and they keep him in the news. So we don't necessarily like him. Look at how Arsenal fans felt with our winger, right? They don't like him, but there's somebody that was Arsenal who really, really want Madueke and says, no, Madueke is going to be an addition. Now, it might backfire, but it might also be a genius idea. Who might have thought that Palmer would have come in here and be a superstar? When he was leaving, some people may have had, angst about the idea that you are selling a potential player, and some people are like, he doesn't get to play, let him go. So nobody can see any of this. We always speak we pontificate in the present, and we speak with the benefit of hindsight later on. So I just feel like this is where we are. We have enough players. The Garnacho's one is it baffles all of us in the fan base. At least for me, I was going to speak for myself.
Yeah,
but there is somebody who is pushing it on both ends. Even the player himself, according to news, says that he likes the idea that he wants to come to Chelsea. So who knows? But for me, I feel like we have enough players for us to actually go into the season and do well. But if you want to go in there with the squad, I mean, you keep saying that people are going to sit down and don't play. Yes, that is what the essence of the squad is. At some point in the middle of the season, when you have injuries and send off, you wish you had those people sitting on the bench. So I don't have a problem with having quality there if they will be content for their turn, especially when you have so many tournaments. So we should have a squad that is scary. That is what is good about it, so that we are always going into these tournaments knowing that we have a shot.
Okay, Bobby is in the house.
Yeah, big up, guys.
Big up, Bobby.
Yeah, I've just been hearing some things. I agree with a lot of what I'm hearing.
Big up, Bobby. Big up, big man.
Yeah, big up, guys. Yeah, I mean, Tyreek George. One thing we have to understand is not every of our academy player is going to eventually cut the mustard. There will be those that will be shed. Having said that, I think Josh Achimpong will cut the mustard, but it's a tough journey to get into the Chelsea first team. It really is. It's only towards the later part of this season that Levi Cole will. I think eventually cemented his place. I don't subscribe to anyone saying that Chelsea doesn't give youngsters a chance. I think that's just folly, because our entire project is about developing players and giving them a chance. And we've done that, including Tyreek George. Tyreek George played a lot for somebody of his age and stage of development last season. He was given a chance. In fact, even so much so that when we had no strikers, they even gave him a chance to play as a point man, which was very unfair to him because he really didn't have the physicality or the technical know-how or experience to do that. But he got his chance. I think it's right. I like Tyreek George a lot, but I do think it's like right that he leaves the club. It's a shame it's not a loan, but if it means that he goes somewhere, we put either a buyback clause in it or something like that. I think it's good for him. I also agree with the other person that look, next season isn't a joke. It's not a joke for us. We're wearing the Club World Cup World Champions crest on our chests. That's like a target to start with. And we've now gone past that level of developing. We still have young players, but we've got to deliver. So we need a squad, and I will emphasize that word, squad. I don't know why Chelsea fans think it's unreasonable to have good players on the bench. There's no other top team in Europe, whether you're Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, even Man United, that's not even in Europe. They have a superly bloated squad and they're still looking to add players. Man City, Liverpool, you have to, and certainly Arsenal now, you have to have strength in depth. And with all the games Chelsea have, this last season, we played 64 games. 64 and we weren't even in the Champions League. A lot of that was like the Conference League and so on, and of course the Club World Cup. And this doesn't include the internationals. The thing that has destroyed Chelsea over the past 2 seasons is not even development, has been injuries. We've had injuries to key players vis-a-vis the likes of Reece James, Wesley Fofana, you name it, the list continues. I mean, last season, people were saying, "Ooh, Chelsea was second, then they dropped off." Yeah, of course they flipping dropped off. They lost all their strikers. Even Arteta will tell you, look, we don't play Chelsea. We always play an injury hit team. Arnie Slot, the same thing. Look, this team is dangerous. It's just that they never seem to have their players fit. Now, this season, we can't afford not to have fit players. It's a World Cup year. It's a intense season in that we don't have the exercise of the Conference League to exercise youngsters. So every competition we play in is a serious competition. There is going to be squad rotation. There has to be squad rotation. You will not get players playing game in, game out, game in, game out. Maresca's not that stupid. He doesn't want them injured. He doesn't want them unable to sustain a challenge to the end of the season. So, just to summarize, if moving, I've heard a lot of negative things about Garnacho, and I'm not sure. I don't really know what I feel, to be honest. But if the club, because it seems to be a club desire, if the club wants him, okay, I'll say then I want him. If he's prepared to come to Chelsea and sit on the bench, which he will do for many games, and be rotational, which he will do for a lot of games, so be it. The greater the strength in depth we have, the better for us. I'm so glad Hato has been formalized, because that ability to rest Cucurella is going to be crucial for us going forward. So I don't mind Tyreek going on. I think he probably needs to do that at this point in his own development.
Okay, so few things that I wanted to to to, to mention here, or to add to what Bobby said and everybody else said. At Chelsea Football Club, I think we have a mindset about young players. And why I say that, because if you look at the kid that we just bought, he's 19 years old. And he started at 16 and developed. And I know Ajax has not the same pressure as Chelsea. We all know that. This is the Premier League and all that. The guy that we are getting, Garnacho, if Eric Ten Hag didn't take him from the academy at 18 and give him serious games in the Premier League, like we're talking about real games here, not Astana, all right? Not in Kazakhstan, or 5 minutes before the game ends in a game that you are losing already and you put a kid there. I'm talking about real serious games here. How many games we saw last season where, like, Josh Anchapong is on the bench and Chaluba playing as a right back, when you know that Josh, that is what he does for a living. So we have that kind of mindset where you are young, you are not good enough, you are not in the Chelsea level. But in the same time, we praise every single kid that come from another academy or another country. That is a mindset that is going to be very difficult for Chelsea fans to understand. Another thing that I wanted to mention is Garnacho is leaving Manchester United because he's a troublemaker. He link information on social media with his brother every single day. He criticized the manager and the team publicly in media and say, I deserve to play and all that. So all this kind of trouble, and you coming to a Chelsea team where you have competition in every single position. Are you going to be patient to be on the bench, just like Joao Felix was there, even when Cole Palmer had diarrhea and didn't train for 2 days? Maresca forced him to play. It's like you're talking about rotation here, but I didn't really see any serious rotation, unless if somebody got a broken leg, is out for months.
Ox, there's one point you're missing, though. A player doesn't really belong to you until you see him wearing your shirt and signing that contract, like we've just seen with Hato. So a lot of the thing with Garnacho at this current point in time is just speculation.
It's going to happen. Because the way everything is like himself liking post on social media, every Fabrizio Romano update, he's liking it on social media. And he said that he's not even looking for a club. That's how sure he is. I think Chelsea already said to him, listen, we're going to get you, but let's drag it until the end of the window to force Manchester United to sell you in our conditions. So they don't want to just jump there and pay 70 million that they're asking for. I don't have a problem with Garnacho. Like I said, I don't rate him that much as oh, wow. But I'm not one of those people that say never in people's careers. I know that at some point, he might change and get to the next level. I'm going to give him his chance. But do we really need this guy when you have like 4 people?
Are they asking for 70 million?
Yeah, it's 70 million price. So we're going to get that down. It's going to go down because...
I mean, it's the same as asking for 80 million for
Garnacho.
Nico is down there for 80 million because if you compare
that is the asking price, but Nico can make a case that he's proven, you like it or not, he scored a lot of goals without penalties. If you gave him all the penalties that we scored that year, he's golden boot in the Premier League. So nobody is going to tell, he's golden boot. You give him all the penalties that Palmer scored, he's golden boot, just like Tammy Abraham. Back in the day, 17 goals without penalty. Jorginho had like 11 penalty for Chelsea. Give Tammy Abraham those same penalties, he's the golden boot. So people don't see those aspects. Mo Salah, Erling Haaland, all those golden boot every year, you will see 10, 7, 9 penalties, including in their statistics. So we can say, hey, he's one of the best in the Premier League. You know, it's the numbers are there. The numbers are there. The numbers don't lie. So
Yeah, I have two things. One, a comment on what you just said, and then a second, a comment, a question to you all football heads that are on here tonight or this evening. I think I made that observation last time I chipped in, and I want to ask Markin and of course Bobby as to what you guys all think about these talents and the style of play that they offer, their way of playing the game, and what that means when it comes to our scoring chances and also chemistry and cohesive way of playing. First of all, with regards to again Garnacho, I do not necessarily. I think he might be good. If he comes, he'll be okay. But he has to be obviously content with sitting on the side for a minute. But you have to sit on the side first, and then you have to be given a chance. And if you are given a chance, there's a reason why you say that Cole Palmer came in even when Cole Palmer is bedridden with sickness, he still is forced to play. It's because we know what his touch on the ball will mean for us. We know what he being in the team for the day will result in terms of his ability, his football IQ, and everything. If you get a chance and you go on there, you can do it. We can all see it. Even if the coach can't see it, the fan base will force it. And then the pre and the post conference matches, you have to answer to us as to why you are not playing clearly a good player. So it remains to be seen as to what will happen with this saga. Like I said, like we all are content. Potential players to any team do not go this far in terms of the public exposure, going to the team, and it doesn't happen. Garnacho has been around for too long. Even last window, we're talking about Garnacho already, and so it might just happen. But my question to you all was what I've been grappling with for a while now. All these talents that wants to be playmakers in the Chelsea in the game for us. If you have Esteval, who wants to be a playmaker, if you have, of course, Palmer is the now recognized playmaker of the club or of the team, but you have all these people. If you get Simons in, he's gonna want to be a playmaker if he's playing. Even the wingers wants to be the ones that are driving the ball and every now and then take a shot. And of course, you have the Pedros and the rest who will not just want to be stagnant and stay, sitting up there. He would like to come in and get the ball and drive and sometimes create his own goals and score. Would that be a problem? Do you guys see it as a problem along the line where somebody like Palmer's responsibility is halved and somebody else has to help with that kind of creativity and it doesn't have to drift all the way back and he gets all redundant or he gets bored or he has to share this glory in terms of the striking force? What do you guys think?
You've explained exactly how I feel about Xavi Simons. That's exactly how I feel about Xavi Simons. But I'll let everybody else answer that. I digress with it.
Well, for me, I will let Bobby talk. But all I can say is just like that is a rich guy problem, right? You have a Ferrari, you have a Mustang, you have a Cybertruck, you have all kind of expensive cars. Your problem is which one I'm taking today. It's snowing today. I have to take I don't know what car. Having so much quality, I don't see anything wrong by having quality because we've been crying that we don't have quality. So if you have few players that will score you few goals, and then it boom, you have a lot of goals, you win a lot of games. But what you say about it's like somebody need to be the guy and everything need to go through him, just like we had under Palma. But all I can remind you is even Barcelona in the day, they used to have Messi, but they still have Ronaldinho, and they still have Samuel Eto'o, and they still have Thierry Henry, and then they added Ibrahimovic, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes it doesn't mean like if you have so many of them, like you think that is just the fear that you have about, like disturbing the dynamic of, there is a main guy and then there are people working for the main guy. I
But
don't
there's
think.
one key thing. There's one key thing you haven't. You give us a great analogy in Barcelona
Yeah, it
that
was great. Yeah, it was
that
good.
place was already established though. Their style of play was already established. If you were being added on, you knew that you were just going to slot into a specific role, and that is the role you're going to play, and it will not disturb the apple cast too much. Whereas Chelsea is still not quite. I mean, one would say we were uh, getting there at the tail end of the last season, and then we came into our own a bit during the Club World Cup. But it's still not an established entity where, because you need to have that style of playing and be successful at it for at least a season or two, and then people can identify that style even from a distance and say, "Hey, this is Chelsea's way." And if you are bought
Yeah,
or you
yeah,
are coming
yeah.
in,
But
yeah,
oh,
if you are coming in,
yeah,
this is what the role is. This is your responsibility. There's no question about that,
I don't
right?
want anybody identifying Chelsea's style. That's the whole point. You have people identifying your style, they'll know how to beat you. One of the reasons
yeah,
we,
that's true.
we spanked up PSG is because they were predictable. What Chelsea is doing is investing in unpredictability. We're talking about a problem that doesn't exist. These players, this is football, not robotics.
No,
And
but
and
Bobby, overloading though. You can be
and
overloading the team.
well, these players are more flexible than you're giving them credit for. Robotics is, oh, he's a number 10, he's gonna play the number 10, he's a number 9, he's gonna play the number 9. That's not Chelsea. These players can
Okay.
play anywhere along the front
Yeah.
line, all of them. The interchanging that is going to be happening with that Chelsea squad is going to be frightening. We're
Mm.
not here. You see, one of the beauties about Chelsea Football Club is that we don't imitate. We do our own thing. We have made a club ethos started by Abramovich. Really, in fact, even before Abramovich, what am I saying? You go back to the 50s and 60s. Chelsea Football Club we were always known as the swinging club of the of West London, the kings of the King's Road. Why? Because we are unique. We never do what everybody else does. We set the pace, not follow the pace. So all
Mm.
this, oh, we've got Simmons. What are we going to do with Simmons? What are we going to do with Gittins? What are we going to do with João Pedro? What are we going to? No, get them and let Maresca cook. Maresca is not a coach that's having players thrown at him that he doesn't want. He's not
Yeah,
that
but
guy.
Bobby, what we're saying, yeah, is that Xavi Simons is gonna come, yeah. He might cook, yes, that might happen. But then there's the Messi, like on the Barcelona team. But then Messi to happen, Bojan had to happen, Pedro had to happen. There's a whole cycle of players, yeah, that had to take a downfall to make space for greatness to happen. We don't see that with Jamie Simmons because the level that Cole Palmer has attained is that a good backup from when the Nkunku's was there when we've never seen a backup and that's the first backup you go for. So that's why a lot of people are not really convinced with what's going on. Really,
And also, there's a reason why, PSG didn't cook when you had Messi, Mbappe, and
Neymar.
and the rest. Yeah, and the rest were all there because there was not one key person that they built. Normally you have in football saying that you build a team around this person because the ball will get to him, people will relinquish balls to him, and he will sort of be the playmaker. If you have three or four of them, the ego sets in. They all want to score, and you have a problem now. Like Bobby is saying, and I'm not refuting that. We cannot predict the future. This might just fit perfectly and be unpredictable as much as possible. But you know, there is an element of concern there that when you have a lot of players who think that they should be the one in there, no matter how young or old they are, you sometimes have this confusion. And then when the ball has to be relayed or cut back, that person wants to score. When cut back would have been much easier, but they want to score because they think they're capable. Whereas there are some players who will be like, okay, this is if Palmer is dead, why should I even dare? Because if I don't score, it will come back at me. So they will easily relay it. But if you have players that think that they are at the same level, there is that friction. Now, it might not happen, like we've all said. We are all pontificating here, but there's a chance of those things happening. Those things, if we are having a discussion about Chelsea moving forward, I think it's worth discussing.
Yeah, I think egos are everywhere, my brother. You can't like eliminate all those little things that could happen between players, but also I don't see Enzo Maresca allowing anybody to come and be lazy or be selfish and say somebody's gonna run for me or something. I think they are all, young. That's why he's just molding them to understand that they have to work for each other. We saw the spirit. We've been seeing the spirit since the end of last season and the World Cup. Even Cole Palmer putting tackles. People don't give him credit enough because he's skinny and whatever, but you see the defensive work, the runs that he's making without the ball just to create space for somebody else and all that. I don't see, you just said Neymar, Mbappe and Messi, they were allowed to be that way at their previous clubs, and then they meet together in one club where now you can't control it. It became... but in a team, like, you can have superstar, but they understand that the only way we can win is to fight for each other. You saw even Cole Palmer when freaking Nicholas Jackson, like, passed the ball, square it, bro. You see how even Enzo Maresca was so frustrated on the bench. Palmer wanted to kill somebody on the pitch. Those kind of little things are going to happen. A little bit of selfishness is going to be. That's what makes you know, that the confidence you have. But I don't think it's going to be a lot where, we have a lot of superstars like Simons. That guy can walk like a horse. I'm telling you right now. Like
he looks like he doesn't stop running.
He doesn't stop, and you see him like defending now. He's in the midfield, in the attack, like opening space. Like, he is absolutely crazy. So I don't think he's gonna stop doing that just because I'm a Chelsea and I wanna be the man. No, you are not. Okay. You are not.
For me,
and
I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn here, because I know I just want to come in, but I want to make this real quick point here. For me, the problem is, this is a potential problem. It might not happen at all, and of course, even if it does,
you worry a little bit too much.
Yeah. But for me, it is the idea. Even when you mentioned PSG here, PSG's match, we went in eyes wide open. Everybody knew that Madrid was not putting pressure on the ball up front, and that was very clear because Mbappe and Vinicius were not even trying, and that was very obvious. That was very clear. So we went in there saying that if we are going to be successful, our forward liners and strike force should put pressure on the ball. So we did to them what they did to Madrid. But it is very important that we really go into the season knowing that even Maresca is still, he is still learning. He's not an established coach at all. He's not a Pep Guardiola, and even Pep Guardiola make mistakes. But I think that Maresca's, because he won this cup, makes us feel like he's arrived. But, it makes people feel like he's arrived because the questions that we had prior to the season finishing, nobody was advocating for him to be fired. But we all knew that he wasn't playing people out of position. I mean, you talked about it all the time here. And so everybody knew that was one of his weak points as a manager. So it remains to be seen how he is going to use this enormous amount of talent, at least in the strike force.
You know what I see from Maresca is, I was thinking like around December, January, February, I was thinking that this guy is just so selfish. This guy is just stubborn. He just stuck on his guns and would die with his idea. That was my, my theory back then. But after the pressure that brother got in stadium, people calling him name, booing all the time, we saw him start panicking. And the panic, he understood from that time that this is Chelsea, we want to win. We don't want this backward pass. We want a result. And we saw from there, probably end of February and March, we started seeing Chelsea winning 1-0. Ugly game, ugly. We are celebrating 1-0 as if we just win the Champions League. We started building some spirit. Maresca started talking about we are Chelsea. We always ambition is to finish and to go to the Champions League. He abandoned, oh no, Chelsea haven't been in the Champions League for years. We are here just to improve players. We're not going to win anything. He abandoned all that. He started talking as a Chelsea manager because he started embracing the job, understanding what Chelsea is all about. So we can't always hold everything that he did against him, because I've seen a lot of changes from that guy, from the speech, from talking to the media or to the players or to the setup on the pitch, the system and the urgency, hey, we just need 3 points here instead of let me impose my system. I've seen a lot of changes from Maresca, so we can't assume that he's going to continue to do the mistakes that he already did, because the result was horrible and he knows it.
So what I want to know, you guys, are you guys for these players to shine? You guys do realize that some players have to play less games now. Like some key players have to lose minutes.
Yeah, that's what they signed for. That's what I'm expecting, that they know what they're getting into. That's what I've been saying here. You bring Garnacho. Garnacho was there. He was out of the team because of his antics, on social media. The manager is talking to him. He turned his back to the manager and stuff like that. But it wasn't he's not good enough, let's bench him. Most of his situation was disciplinary situation. So you're coming from a team that you could have played every single game if you had a good attitude. And you're coming to a team where you have to fight for your place. You're going to be on the bench a lot. I can promise you, you will be on the bench a lot. So you know what you get. Yes, you know what you're getting to. Who is going to be benched? Just tell me. Gittens?
Because I don't know. I feel like because him and Git there's not that much apart,
But you know that
they're not far apart.
The problem with him, Garnacho, he's not like a proper winger. He's kind of the guy who plays between the lines. He's just like inverted inside winger kind of in that region. If you look at even the goal that he scored against Everton, the Puskas Award goal, that, bicycle kick, he is in that region. So he's not like somebody who would do the winger thing and put an amazing cross to the box. You see?
Okay.
So he found himself in that region, in the pocket where Palmer is and Slash. So I don't see Gittens as his direct competition, unless if Maresca is thinking about changing the system or playing a different way. So
would you be happy to see Enzo with less minutes?
Enzo Fernandez, anybody. I'm okay with anybody having less minutes, even Moises Caicedo. As long as we win, it's not like you have just to play because it's you, Caicedo. We have to think about your health. He played more games in the last 2 years than probably anybody in the team. So I would like to see Dario Esugu also given a chance when Caicedo is 100% fit. He's on the bench. Esugu start in the Premier League, in the proper game. I'm sick and tired of wait for a Barrow in the Carabao Cup, or let's give him 5 minutes. I want to see that proper rotation. Everybody is putting effort to try to get the number 1 spot. That's what I want to see at Chelsea Football Club. No place is guaranteed. I want to see Estevan Willian benching Cole Palmer. Yes, I'm saying it. I want to see Simons benching also Cole Palmer. That kind of rotation and competition that I want to see, and not like the place is guaranteed to Palmer or to Enzo Fernandez. I want to see them have less games if that means we're going to keep the team healthy, happy, and we're going to win a lot of trophies. That is the most important.
The only reason why I say that, yeah, is because for Xavi Simons to shine, we might have to give Enzo Fernandez less minutes.
Yeah, that also is a point. That is a good point. Anybody, no place is given automatically to somebody, you or you every day. I want to see everybody be afraid of you, of
Especially
losing your
Enzo
place.
Maresca. What's it called? Enzo Fernandez. I like Enzo Fernandez to sit down every now and then. Now, there's one thing he did that endeared me to him a little bit, though. After the game in New York, he was crying. And I think the idea was because he said he texted his friends that his decision to come to Chelsea has been validated. And, hey, there's something to be said about that. He's standing there as a World Club winner, a Club World Cup winner. He's won the Continental Cups, for his nation. And now the only thing left is basically the European,
the Champions League.
The Champions League is the only thing left. And
the Europa League too. He hasn't won the Europa League.
If you win a Champions League as a foreign player, you don't need it. The clubs need to win all of it, but the players don't need to win. The lesser clubs. If you win the what is it called, the Champions League, it will make up for the Europa League and all of that stuff. He doesn't need to win or the Europa League and also Conference League. Now from Conference League he's already won it. But anyway, my point was that he endeared himself to me because he was crying and everything, and he felt like he felt there was a sentimental aspect of what he was doing, which was fun, nice to see. So in that case, yes, but I still feel like that area of the pitch, the competition there is very healthy. To have those four competing for the teams, and
Andre Santos, we haven't even mentioned him. It's going to be really tough.
Exactly, and to think of them four challenging for the space all the time, provided they stay healthy, is a good thing. That's why nobody talks about our Chelsea midfield right now. We've invested the money. We have four strong, qualified people to play there. Now, it lacks a little bit of height and athleticism there. And that's why every now and then you will see James going to the middle. But I think that we have a healthy bunch in the middle there. In terms of rotation, and that is your point that I wanted to remark on, it's easier said than done. We can all sit here and say, blah, 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 everybody needs to get a chance and then we need to bench. I would love that, because the only way that players get to prove themselves is if they get the chance to play. Now, when they play, there will be days that they don't get any chance at all. Imagine if the Palmer we saw was the Palmer of the second half of this last season. Even though he got to play, but if he was consistently not producing like the way that he was not producing the second half of this past season, we would have been up in arms and said, what is this? Who is this player for? But we knew that he could do better because he has shown us the previous season, and this is also the first half of last season. So we gave him the chance to redeem himself. Now, unfortunately for these lesser-known players or players who don't get the chance often, you don't get that chance. If you are playing because somebody was injured, that person will come back and they reclaim their spot. If you are playing because you were slot in there, most of the time they get slot in there when we are down, and by a lot sometimes, and then they come in and their contribution is ineffectual or is actually not seen. And so the chances that they have to, so that's why I really, 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 really subscribe to what you were saying, that they should be given full games, even when the person that normally plays there is
fit.
Capable.
Yeah,
fit,
you are fit, but you give a chance to somebody else.
Yeah, so they don't feel like they are looked over. Yeah, it's very, very important that he does that. All of this is psychological. The coaches and the people around that decision-making table should really think about all of this all the time. To have this much talent, on his behalf as a coach in Maresca. It doesn't happen. He has never, of course, he was like that in Manchester City, but he was an assistant coach. But as the main guy, that's why when he came to Chelsea, he was lowballing our achievements. He was like, we don't have to. We haven't qualified for this thing for two seasons straight in a row. Fourth is enough, or maybe fifth is enough. And because he hasn't won anything of any real importance, so he himself had to set his high. That's why this Club World Cup is very, very important to us, because all of them are now checkmate. You have done this before. You should be able to do it again. You've beaten the best team in the world. Don't tell me that you're going to go out there and Bournemouth is going to be beating you.
Yeah. Aziz, you are in the building.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah, happy
waiting for
Sunday.
your brother Garnacho. Happy Sunday to you too.
Yeah, happy Sunday, Mr. Victor.
Yes. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Yeah. I understand. I was listening to your analysis. You are hitting the point that the coach needs to set the standard now should be high, because him winning the Club World Cup, this is something he won by himself with the team. But he's not, how will I put it? He's not milking the achievement of other coaches that won in the past for Chelsea. This is his own team. He built his own team, and he won stuff with his own team. He won 2 cups. One of the cups might not be, I might call it a Mickey Mouse Cup. The trophy is a trophy. You win what is in front of you. And he went there to win the so-called PSG, meaning they are not invisible. They can be beaten. Yeah. And people need to start taking Chelsea serious, because you've put us back to where we are. And we're going to demand more from you. And you need to demand more from yourself and from the players. There need to be accountability.
Exactly.
Last season, most of these players, there was no accountability. They are young. A young man becomes a man one of these days.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that anymore, though. Oh, yeah, we can't win. We have to wait 5 years. Look at Arsenal. Look at PSG. I think Maresca even gave the example of PSG. Oh, even when PSG play Arsenal, what Enrique said that, look at Arsenal been together for a long time. We haven't. I don't want to hear those excuses anymore.
So a boy becomes a man eventually, and football is simple. Don't complicate things. Let the player play in their right position. I understand sometimes you might want to tweak some stuff, but you should know your players by now. Okay. What's his name? Rich James. Okay, he can play in the middle. Malagusto is not that good in the middle. Let me play him in his right position where he can be overlapping. This is what I need you to do.
Yeah.
Like against PSG. How many times have we've said this 300 or even 200 times? Let Malagusto play from the wing back. Let him be overlapping. You're going to see the best of Malagusto.
Yeah. And we saw it in the final.
Everybody in this, I guess maybe he has been watching us, because we've all preached this. Preach it, and he eventually did it. And this is what I want him to do. Play the guys in their right position. Now that there's competition in the team. Even Kopama knows. Kopama, we know, is the number 10, but now he knows there's a Xavi Simons that can play that position now. He needs to be careful. And and one thing I love about him, he needs to set his standards high. And that stuff that happened to him last season, and people that they said he didn't score, he went missing in the second half of the season. If people want to be fair, if you all want to be fair, Kopama was our second best player in the second half of the season. Eventually, some brother couldn't score the goals. He was leaving on the plate to him. I'm not going to mention his name because I'm tired of mentioning his name. The amount of chances he was creating, that brother wasn't scoring. it eventually went on the team.
Yeah.
Okay? So these are things we need to look around. It might not be it might not score every time, but it's creating. It's making impact in that team. And I'm happy he was able to fight it because football is a psychological game. Because he knows he has always been scoring and he couldn't score a goal. So everything he was doing that used to come easy wasn't coming easy. But now he has seen it. And okay, next time that stuff comes, you know what to do.
You are breaking, bro. You have some issues with your
Can you
microphone.
hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
I said, thank God he went through that patch last season because he has never experienced a goal drought. Remember, he was doing everything that I need to score the goal. Even with a penalty he missed against Leicester. But he never put his head down. He still wanted to do it until he eventually got it right. And that is why I'm saying that is going to build his confidence up. Look at our assistant captain, the one from Argentina. What's his name?
Enzo
Enzo
Fernandez.
Fernandez. Remember, people were saying, oh, he can't play this position. He can't play this position. He was out of the team. He was our second best player. If you remove Moses Caicedo, he was our best player. Let's be frank. He had more assists, more goal contribution. These are things that these players need to look into themselves like, oh, I wasn't playing good and I eventually got it. I need to know what the coach want me to do. I need to do more. If it's to train more, like Cristiano Ronaldo, they need to do it more. You feel me?
Yeah.
And this is what I want them to do.
Yeah, that's the problem. You mentioned something about Enzo Fernandez, which is true because I mean, some people try to rewrite history and try to manipulate things and try to pretend as if never say anything against Enzo. We know who they are. No, Flip Flop FC. For me, like me, I don't apologize to stuff like that, and I don't flip flop because football is about now. Manchester United just scored 1-0 against Everton in New York, I think, where they are playing now for the summer series. I don't know, no, probably Atlanta. Probably they are in Atlanta. So, Enzo Fernandez, I was right. People were right to criticize him because he was absolutely crap. He thought that I'm Champione del Mundo and I can't work hard, I can't tackle. And what Maresca did, he benched him for like a couple months. Remember when everybody was talking about sell him, he's not good enough. People were right.
That was a great idea. That was a great idea.
That was right. So I'm not going to apologize and say, oh, you see, you said it. No, because I was absolutely right. This brother was absolutely dog shit. And Maresca came out to say, listen, I prefer to use other options because of the physicality, because of this, because of that. And you know what? Enzo Fernandez listened to the message and he learned. He was like, yeah, I might be champions of the world. I might win the Copa America, but I have really to show people that I can do it in the club level. And he started working hard. Without critics, without Enzo Maresca benching him and discipline him, he was never going to be the Enzo Fernandez that we know today. So people need to stop this kind of, oh, but you say this about the manager, but you say this about the player, because football is about today. If people are saying something that is correct, I'm not talking about people with agendas where Cobham, people from England or Cobham, they're always bad, bad, bad. Everything they do is bad, bad. Everything else from Monaco, South America is good, good, good. Those cultists, that is another situation. But for people who tell the truth like me, I don't have any agenda. You play good, you are my boy, I say it. You play like a dog shit, I am going to say it, and I don't care about the reaction from people. I'm not in the cult of applauding people 24/7. I have to tell the truth, and Maresca was right benching Enzo Fernandez. I was right criticizing him here fairly. And I am right also to praise him now. There are certain people who will never leave it. So if you criticize somebody, you have to keep the same energy. Go, even if it's called a hat trick. No, keep just insulting, keep finding theories and narrative. No, for me, it's telling the truth in that particular time. It's not eternal. It's in the past. It's in the past. So Enzo Fernandez was crap. He got benched. Now he's doing good, and we have to give him flowers that he deserves. Even the manager himself, his performances, his speech, his tactics, his subs, everything about him was crap, dog crap. January, February, even December, he killed the team spirit. We struggled not because of the injuries or because of the sporting directors or the owners, because the same players, when we change the system, when we change the way we speak, we want to go. We want to go for top 4. We have to win. And you saw everybody putting on a shift. But you come and you say, oh my goodness, you're still very young. You're still a baby. Bloody hell, this guy got 2 kids. All right? He got like 1,000 girlfriends. This guy already like won Champions Leagues and World Cup. Why are you saying, oh, you are young? Bloody hell, you are a man. Play football. You paid handsomely to play freaking football. Put some effort on the pitch. And,
I think that was also for him to take a little bit of pressure off himself as a coach. When we were doing well, he was surprised. I mean, come on, a few months earlier, he was doing well, but he was still in the championships, and that was different. And then all of a sudden, you are 2 points behind Liverpool. That was a surprise to him himself. So he had to time.
You have to embrace it. That's what he had to do, is to embrace it, to say, we are here. We're going to fight until the end. Even if we don't win, but we're going to fight until the end. You bring that message. He was scared of putting the expectation so high for himself. It's not expectation when you say, we are Chelsea, we're going to fight. We know we're still young or whatever, but if the door is open for us, we're going to fight for it. If we lose, we lose, but we lose fighting. But don't tell people, oh, don't fight because you're still a baby. When I came in this job, they didn't tell me to go to the Champions League. 5 years from now, we're going to dominate Europe. Chelsea, in the last 3 years, they never qualify. So why are you, he throw every kind of stupid line over there to discourage everybody, to put everybody down. You don't have to say we're gonna win. No, we are here. 1 game, 1 win away. We are top of the league. We're gonna fight. If we lose, we lose, but we're gonna lose fighting very hard until the end. So everybody on their toes.
And that is why I like the press conference he did against PSG.
Exactly.
When the old people were like, "Oh, PSG will beat you. What are you going to defend?" The old press conference, everybody was saying, even the world said PSG were going to beat Chelsea. They asked him, "Are you going to defend?" He said, "Defend what?"
He said, "Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?"
Yeah, and even Rich James and those boys were ready, and that is what I haven't seen that in a while from Chelsea. Like when they said they are ready, they were ready. They were putting all tackles, and you could see it. Under Pochettino, I didn't see that under them. Pochettino would have said, "Oh, don't get me wrong, I love Pochettino. He later got the tactics right. But Pochettino is always there, oh, we young. I'm tired of hearing that stuff. We are a man. Something about football, there's no young in football. Lamine Yamal is playing at the age of 17, 16. He's already killing it in a man's game. You're a man. Messi was already killing it at the age of 17 in a man's game. So football is a man's game. Go out there and win. Go out there and play. I don't want to hear you are young. We might be the youngest team in this thing. In the league. Come on. Ajax did it. They were the youngest team to win the Champions League. They almost won it back to back with a young team. With the like of Patrick Kluivert, Finidi George, Kanu Nwankwo, that squad was so good. So this is something we can do. We can replicate that Ajax team. So I don't want to hear anything that we are young.
No, yeah, and believe me, if we had the same message since January of, yeah, we are Chelsea Football Club, we go to a competition to win. We're gonna fight. We know that we're not gonna win everything, but we're gonna fight until the end. If we went with that spirit, that is not putting pressure on anybody. That is telling you that we are Chelsea. We fight, we die, we're gonna lose fighting. That is the spirit. That is not saying we're gonna win the league, we're gonna beat everybody. No, you say there, you send a message to your players, to everybody, that we are going to lose fighting until the last minute, the last blood, the last sweat. But his message sounded more like, no, you don't have to put punches. You're still a baby. You can't fight with this heavy boxer, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman and whatever. You can't fight with them because, no, that was the message from the manager. But you say, yeah, I'm a young boxer. You never know. One jab and I can take you down. It takes just one jab. Just keep doing what you can do. And if you lose, you're not afraid and you're not ashamed of losing against Muhammad Ali. But don't come in the press conference, praise everybody how they've been together for 10 years and they are the best in the world and they did this and that, and diminish your team and say, we still have time. We just started. I was told that in 5 years we can think about Champions League or whatever. That is just like an insult to yourself, to the club, and to the players. Because all the players, regardless of the age, regardless of the age of the player and the age of the team, you still play football, that one ball, 11 against 11. On your day, you can take anybody down. That's the way it is. So the message changed, and now I am giving him flowers because he is improving. I'm not gonna sit and be in the past like I criticize him and, oh, I'm sorry, and say I'm sorry the manager, I'm sorry the players, because no, I am not freaking sorry, because I am the reason why you made those changes. If you have people who just applaud your stupidity 24/7, yeah, oh, let's wait 5 years. We're gonna win in 5 years. All right, and then we were never going to win that conference league. We were never going to qualify for the Champions League next season, and we were never going to win the Club World Cup. In the top team like Chelsea, you need that kind of pressure. You need to keep yourself checked, because you're gonna get too comfortable. And Maresca was too comfortable at the beginning.
Yeah, but also it's because he wasn't coming into a team that is already winning. We were really a poor outfit the last 3 or 4 seasons. Last 3 seasons after we won the Champions League, we started going down big time, and to be 12 and 6 in the league. He came in and he realized that we also been going through managers like our underwear. So the circumstances sometimes, reveal in any manager what kind of the character of the manager that you are necessarily employing, and because of the references, the point of reference we have now in terms of he leading the team to win these championships, and also to put our name there. For me, this Club World Cup is one of the greatest things that has happened to Chelsea. I think I would liken it to our first Champions League win, and also Mourinho's first win when he came on in 2004. But but in terms of these three trophies, I feel like the World Cup, because the World Cup is it may not be revered by the European countries because they have Champions League. But the South Americans, the Africans, and even the Asians, everybody cherish this World Cup because you get a chance to be playing competitive football with these so-called leaders of the game. Okay, because the Champions League is a worldwide sport now, it's viewed more than any other club competition in the world. So you realize that for Auckland to what is that team that came from New Zealand to come in and compete with them means that there were eyeballs that were watching that night. And for us to be on the tail end, because if they watched it briefly, they might take a peek again to see who actually eventually made it up there. I'm sure Flamingo and the rest were all like, oh, okay, if Chelsea won, it's good. We played them, So all those players, everybody went home and started rooting for somebody. And I'm sure that the rest of the world were rooting for us because everybody hyped PSG. So for me, winning it eventually from nowhere and changing the narrative the way we did is the best thing that could happen to Chelsea. We've gained a lot of fans. I know of my spouse has girlfriends that came to watch the game with all of us. They had never heard. They didn't even, in America, nobody really follows the game here that much in terms of soccer, except for the women's game. But they were all like, okay, now we are all Chelsea, we are all Chelsea fans. So it has gained us so much notoriety. And that is what you need. And if you were the coach of all of that, it is an immense responsibility now. Now, you cannot hide behind anything like, oh, they are young people or whatever, especially also when after all of that, you've gone out there, you invested 300-400 million pounds, or, gross. Net maybe will be fine because we end up selling players. But if you are spending that kind of money to bring in more players, and those players are versatile players, they are the cream of the crop you selected out of the other teams in Europe, you should be in a position to speak differently so that Oz will not be pulling his hair out and listening to your commentary. I listen to our coach and I'm like, no, this guy cannot do anything. But we live to be surprised in this world. And for me, he was more, what is the word? He had tenacity in the way he came out in the end. In terms of the last the conferences he had when we were involved in a Club World Cup. So he is not out of the woods yet for me. Like I said, we are yet to see how he will feature in a league where you have 38 games and you have to perform 38 times, not 7 games of people that are tired. No, it's 38 games that are spread in 10 months. And you have to really make sure your strategies are there because you're going to encounter injuries. You're going to encounter people that are going on international duties. You're going to encounter all of these things and you have to be able to juggle all of that and to go out there and win as something.
Yeah, it is what it is. Only time will tell, but the foundation is good now. We already achieved something as a reference where we have to look at us and say we are the best in the world, even though people don't agree with that. Oh, it was one of games. The one game, if you play 10 times, you're gonna lose 9 and stuff like that. But nobody cares. It's on your day. It's just like a boxer, You go there, you are champions of the world for 10 years, and then in 1 second, bam, you are down, and a rookie just become champions of the world. You're not gonna go and say,
let me tell you this. And I don't mean to cut you. All people who say that are just freaking jealous. You want to tell me that Liverpool wouldn't have loved it to be in the biggest stadium, one of the biggest stadiums in the US, with more than 1 billion people watching you, and you're lifting one of the most gorgeous of trophies in the world, and the whole world, you are on the news channel of every single. I mean, it's just jealousy. Every single sports conversation that week was us. Everywhere in the whole damn corners of the world. You want to poo-poo that kind of tournament? No way. It's jealousy. We have won it. We are world champions. It's going to be on our shirt for 4 years, not 1 year, where it comes and goes quickly. For 4 freaking years. When we do good, we do bad in the league, we are still the world champions. You don't tell me that you are going to be saying that it was a poo-poo kind of tournament. And on top of that, you walked away after just 30 days with $100 million.
Yeah.
It's good on the money, guys. It's good on the money.
Because people
and
always
just,
find a way to
oh,
say.
it's just
Some people
jealousy.
try to say.
I've heard the Liverpool. I've never let the Liverpool people say it. They will love to be in our position. They will love to be in our position. Meanwhile, we're taking the first of its kind, this trophy. I don't think with the load we are putting on the players, they are going to invent another trophy of this nature in terms of the clubs. Okay, it's going to be like this, and it's going to stay with us. They're going to make it better, of course, find better venues, and I'm sure they will even want to add more. It started with 32. I'm sure that by the time I am out of this world, it might come up to 50 something. You know how it is. They all want money, and there will be more interest, and we would have been the first folks to win it. So let's just shut up. And I know Liverpool people are all jealous. They were all hate watching this thing. Arsenal fans were all like rooting against us because they know that once you have it on you, and especially if you beat teams like a team like PSG, this is why the story is so sweet for us, because we didn't just beat small people and won what a conference league. We beat formidable people. Manchester City lost round of 4. What is it called? Quarterfinal, whatever it was. They didn't even get there. And Benfica was not a bad team. They just lost, and you are as good as the day. Federer, I followed tennis for a while. Federer and the rest were like, it's who is in front of you, try and go and beat them. And if you beat them 50 years from now, nobody will be worried about our individual opponents during the group stages. They'll be worried about the fact that we won. So Liverpool and the rest will shut up. We've won it. We are so grateful that we won it. And for our fans, I walk around here wearing the jersey with so much pride, brother. I am so prideful when I watch Chelsea jerseys right now, because even those who don't know football right now, a little bit of it occupied our first half of our summer. Yeah. And you cannot say anything about it. And next year, the World Cup comes here, the conversation will still prevail because it's not going to be about clubs. The only time this thing will change is 4 years from now when a different team wins it. It could be even us again if we do well in Europe the next 4 years. So I don't buy it anymore. We have won.
What do you think of Liverpool with all the superstar and the super team that they are trying to build? Are you afraid or what?
I know I'm not. I am to an extent, because whoever nobody can tell you that your achievements don't follow you on the field. It does. It does with the coaches. It does with the players. When Ronaldo is coming after you, you're not playing just another player. You are playing a man that has won Champions League 5 times, his Ballon d'Or 6 times, or whatever it is. You are playing all of that as well. So when you get players that come with all that, that's why we were all frustrated when we invested 200 million plus in our midfield and it wasn't clicking, because it comes with you, even if you are not great enough. So Etikite, whatever his name is, Victor is gonna come with him. It's gonna come with him that he was bought a lot of price. He was doing very well, but there's one thing that folks haven't taken into consideration. Premier League is a different ball of wax, especially for these German recruits. We know that the German, league is good. It's a strong league. You do well. But you need to come in and prove yourself when you come to the
1-1. Oh,
Everton scored?
Yeah, Everton scored.
Yeah, Everton with their new stadium. They would like to prove that they don't want to have a losing streak in their new stadium. So they will really, really rise up. That's why everybody's excited about this season, right? So for me, and if they
remember,
actually get Rodrigo,
Isak is signing for Liverpool, not only the German guys.
Isak signs. I rated Isak, but he was just an ordinary striker in my opinion. I think he was okay. And they won't play all of them at the same time. If they play all of them at the same time, there will be redundancies, because of the simple reason that you can't have these 2 tall giants playing. One playing off the other. No, the only thing is that you have strength in depth. So if you are actually substituting Etikite I've always have a problem pronouncing his
Yeah,
name.
Eketike. Call him Hugo or
Eketike. If
Hugo. Yeah.
you are subbing Eketike with Isak, that is formidable. There is no question about that. Because they all want to, have this healthy competition between them anyway, and that helps the team overall. So if you have wingers in Sarah, and then you have on the other side Rodrigo, as people are hinting that they are going to go in for me, you have a formidable strike force. But football is not only about scoring; it's also about defending, and you should have a strong defense. And
They
if we
still
think
have
that they are
Van Dijk
defending,
and Konate though.
yeah, but they are
And they
going
might
old.
get
They're old
Mark
age.
Gay. Mark Gay
They are
also might
old,
go there.
and that's why they need Matchday or something. But Van Dijk is a year older, and we know that he's not all that through their preseason games. They are not impressing as much. I mean, if you want
That
a
is
couple,
preseason, bro.
but
That
yeah,
is
but
preseason.
it's still not. They lost games last year, and the thing is this. That is what is good about this what the Chelsea project in this present moment. Nobody's looking at us. And that is why we also did well in the Club World Cup. If you are a target, even the teams that are odd ones, you become they become the underdogs, and then you are incumbent on you to score. Everybody is still looking at them, even though they won last year. Everybody is still looking at Arsenal, for which I don't understand, because I don't think Viktor Gyokeres is going to change a match. I mean, he's going to bang in a couple more goals, but are they really in the position that is their midfield that great, especially if you lose, what is it called? The Ghanaian guy, I've forgotten his name, to in the midfield. And then you think also about Manchester City, who is always penciling just because they have a great coach and his style of play is a little conquering. He's able to do all of that. So those three are being looked at. The thing is, with the league, you have to, if you are doing well, it shows, because week in and week out will be amongst the four or amongst the three or amongst the two. And people will start looking at you again. That's why we say some teams are built for club championship, because tournaments, and some are built for the league, because with tournaments it's only a short time. So before people figure you out, you have won and you left, but in terms of leagues, you are there for a whole 10 months. So if you are even there for a month or two, you become a target. So that is the only thing. But nobody talking about us is good for me, because I believe in our players. I don't think we're going for another striker. I think Pedro is good, but Pedro had played in what is it called, league before, and he didn't score 20 goals. His maximum was like 14 or 15 or something like that. So maybe being surrounded by these greater players, Palmer will give him the chances to score more or whatever. So it's yet to be seen. Delap is not entirely proven yet. So we are flying under the radar. Our strikers are not compared to the Eketikes and the Gyokeres and the rest. But if we fly under the radar and before they blink like Leicester did, we are only 10 games away, but we are really marching. the ones that are up there, that gives us a chance. For me, second, third, I won't poo-poo it. For sure, the first four, top four, definitely, with this kind of team that we have and the confidence we built. My thing is that if we win one of the two cups, in the League Cup or Carabao or FA Cup, it'll be nice. Or if we get there, if we get even to the finals, it's there. Because for me, even if you get to the finals and don't win, you are one of the last games when it comes to the tournament. So you get spoken about, even if it's sad, but you are there. You get spoken about for a long time. So for me, it's always important to advance in these kind of competitions. So anyway, I'll wrap it up by saying that I believe, I hope that they go out there and really, really execute, because the players there are great. Liverpool, everybody has penciled them in, so the onus is on them. They are defending champions. They have signed a zillion amount of, not a zillion, in terms of money. A lot of players that come in with so much money, price tag wise. So you put a lot of responsibility on them. It takes one or two miss by Eketike, and then he's like, "Oh, did we do the right thing?" But the thing is, Liverpool will allow you to thrive and develop. They won't just throw it away like Chelsea will. So, but the expectation is that they will win, and that means that every single game they play, There will be tension. There are people who will be coming after them to make sure that they squash the idea that they are the presumptuous winners. And because of that, it will be on them. And then we will maybe be able to, slip in there and then do our thing. So that's what my take is on that.
All right, let me read some comment here before we finish. We still have like a few minutes to go. Getting tired and hungry. David?
Wait, one question, please. One question.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to cut you. What channel is the Manchester United? Where are you watching it?
I have the subscription. The subscription is like $2.99. They dropped the price.
Oh, $2.99.
On Manchester United website. I bought it last night. My idea was like do the watch along or do the voiceover watch along, but I ended up by not doing it. So I already paid it $2.99 to buy the pass to watch it. In the US, I don't know where to watch, but I think on Manchester United website you can buy the pass. So that is where it is. So Mr. David here said that evening, I have to greet you 3 times today on Green Turf and live from Namibia. Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching my other videos. People, you have to watch my edit videos because need you to watch. That's about it. Okay. Eric said that I'm gonna have to mute Mr. Aziz a little bit because of echoes. We should be fighting for the title next season because we have the team to do that. Only if the coach do what he did against PSG. This is what you mean. I don't think there is any team to challenge us. It's always going to be challenges, people. This is England. It's the Premier League. You might lose against Bournemouth or Brentford. You never know. But and now it's gonna get even harder for us that we are the champions of the world, and everybody wanna beat the champions. I'm expecting a very tough beginning of the season. Everybody is at the end of their preseason, right? They've been on preseason for like a month or more than a month. They went on vacation, they recover, they are refreshed, and then they are back again. They've been doing preseason, building up their fitness. They are almost at the end. And Chelsea are going to start the preseason tomorrow, right? Where Arsenal and other teams already finished their preseason. They are just adding little touch here and there. They are physically fit, mentally refreshed. They're going to start again. And Chelsea, we start the preseason tomorrow, August the 4th. And August the 15th or 14th, I don't know what date again, the Premier League is back. So less than 2 weeks before the Premier League is the day that we start our preseason. So you must be somebody that is an alien not to understand how like human body works, right? Because there will be always people who say, oh, but you spent $1 billion. That is going to be the narrative. You spent $1 billion. So the $1 billion players are not allowed to get sick, get tired, or refresh or recover because you spent $1 billion. So that is gonna be the stupid narrative with pundit and so-called journalists and fans. So I'm expecting us. We're gonna lose games. Listen, this is the Premier League. You know, you see the transfer window that Liverpool been having. Amazing on paper, of course, because you have to put really the work on the pitch, though. You know, you can buy Messi, Ronaldo, whatever, Haaland, Mbappe, Vinicius, put them together. My friend, it's gonna take time for them to gel, and sometimes it's gonna be very frustrating, even on the bench, on the pitch, to watch them because they don't understand each other. Probably egos, probably, you know, so many things can happen to Liverpool, and they have a very bad season after signing the best players in the world. But on paper, if you look at the transfer window they did, and the holiday they had a long break, even though that break was cut by losing one of their players, Diogo Jota, rest in peace, which was very, very tough physically and also mentally. Mentally, to go back in the same dressing room that you spent years with your friends, and you still see his locker there, number 20. It's hard. That is gonna eat your body. That is gonna eat your spirit. So we don't know how they're gonna react, but on paper they look like a perfect team, right? And you look, even Manchester United, I know people are gonna call me crazy or whatever, but they made sure that they got players from the Premier League. Mboemu, proven in the Premier League. They got Cunha, proven in the Premier League. They are adding few elements here and there. Don't be surprised if they do good next season. They have one game a week, not in any European competition. They have time to recover. And they had a full preseason with their new manager. And they can make life complicated for many, many teams this season. So I'm not going to say, all of a sudden Chelsea are going to win everything because we are champions of the world. But that is the mentality that we have to go. The mentality of, we are Chelsea Football Club. We're going to fight. You're going to beat us, but we're going to fight until death. Never say die attitude. That is Chelsea Football Club. Okay, few more comments and I'll be... we should be fighting. I read that. Mr. David again. I hope Chelsea will not do anything to Hull number 22. What do you mean? What do you mean? Chelsea will not do anything to Hull. Hull is the name of a player, right? Lois Hull? Is you talking about Lois Hull, the young man that we sold? Number 22 is for Dewsbury Hall, is the guy who is wearing it now, if I'm not mistaken, at Chelsea, right? Before it used to be like Willian, people like that. I don't know, unless if you ask the question again, I just don't know. Anything to Hull, number 22? I don't know what you mean. Dewsbury Hall, by the way, he could be sold. Fulham want him and some other teams from the Premier League want him. So he could leave Chelsea and number 22 is going to be available. If Chile also leaves, number 21 is going to be there for somebody to take. Big up, Oaks, Mr. CFC Gamer. Hello. Hato is quality. Good on the ball, aggressive, and also can invert and overlap. Yeah, I hope so. I hope we use him the right way.
Some people say he's a little bit risky. He's a little bit risky when he comes to tackle. Like he's always kind of prone to penalties.
Yeah, but those are the things. The timing is the thing that you learn as you grow. Nobody is gonna be born with those kind of precision the same time. And at 19 years old, he just got 19 like days ago. Yeah, 18 plus. That's what we can say. And I think yes, you learn from making those mistakes. You learn from giving away those penalties. That's how your timings become like perfect, like Rudiger or let's say Zuma, the last minute. Those things, you have to work on them. And that's why I always give the benefit of the doubt to the players, because I believe in evolution. I believe that people can call you whatever names this season, and next season you prove people wrong because you've been walking and walking and walking. Kukurea can now get some rest for certain games, yeah, that for sure. I would like Everton. No, wait. It's not. They are not even. Oh, they are just showing. They're just showing. They are on the break now. They are just showing the replay. So I thought like Everton scored the second goal. Are you crazy or something? How can you score a goal during halftime? Anyways, Kukurea can now get some rest for certain games. Yeah, not only certain games. I want to test this boy in real games, you know? Like a proper game in the Premier League and not like, oh, we're going to wait for the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup or, yeah, let's give him 5 minutes. I would like to see him really get there, like a proper rotation. And for people who say, oh, you have to fight for your place, my theory is you can't fight for your place if you have like somebody got advantage over you. Somebody plays for 80 minutes and you play for 10 minutes and you say, you see, I told you so. You know, when he was put there, he didn't do anything. So he didn't fight for his place. To fight for your place means you also give me entire game, 90 minutes for me to fight with the guy that I'm fighting with. But not like I have to sit, and you give me one game against Astania, and you judge me from that game. Like, it need to be equal. That is fighting. A proper rotation that, hey, today, okay, you're going to have to deal with Saka because your friends dealt the other time with Haaland, for example. So you put them in the same condition, the same minute before you start talking about, oh, he doesn't take his chance. Oh, he plays a lot of games. Hello, you brought me 10 minutes to go when we were already losing 2-0. And you expect me to do what in 10 minutes? Because if you played football in any level, when you're coming from the bench, before even you warm and feel really the pitch, it might take you 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You just there. It could happen that you are the right place, the right time, bam, the first ball, top bin, goal. But those are just exceptions. When you sub somebody, it takes that person time to feel the energy on the pitch and start like feeling he's part of the game. And you give me 5 minutes and you say, oh, you see? We put him there. He didn't do anything. What do you want me to freaking do in 5 minutes or 10 minutes? That's what people don't understand. We can make theories because we sit from our couches and making theories. You don't know. You never been there. You know, and get a tackle and got your bone broken on the pitch. You just on the pitch. You are just sitting there watching and making theories. It doesn't happen that way. Okay, let's go. CFC Gamer said that we are going to do something big. The season, I can smell and feel it. Okay, good luck. Mr. Ogbona. Daniel Ogbona said, I pray that we are going to win the league and Champions League this season. Well, God listen also to PSG fans. God listen to Liverpool, Manchester City, and all the games. You're going to find people praying there for their team. So God, keep God away from this. God already gave you skills and everything. He said, my kid, go, do it. Show it. I gave you energy and skills. You, the manager, I gave you IQ. Find a formula better than the other one. Because if God has to take side here, he's not going to be a fair God anymore, right? So he said, oh, that is not me anymore. I gave you everything. Here are the skills. Here 1 billion. Go there. You, the coach them. Boom. Let's say. So we are not the only people praying, bro. You have so many people praying. Anyways, I believe Maresca will... you believe Maresca will be more flexible this season? No excuses. No excuses this year, because he's getting the players he wants and all of the signings fit in the system. No excuses. It's a good point. It's a good point. And me, even last season, I was saying, if I see that you are trying to do the right thing, I was never going to put the pressure that I put on Maresca last season because you are doing the right thing. What I mean by the right thing is what? Play Malo Gusto as a freaking fullback because he's going to bully people across the ball and have an assist, and we're going to win easily. All right? Don't freaking play him as a number 8 inverting because it's not working. It's freaking not working. Stop forcing people out of positions. The other thing, stop doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's become predictable. Everybody knows what we're going to do. Try to do something else or just keep it simple because the system is so complicated that nobody understands. Stop telling us that, oh, Robert Sanchez, if you kick long, I will change you. If you don't pass sideways, I will change you. Don't blame Robbie. Blame me. But you know that this guy is absolutely crap. He can't play the freaking ball from the back, short passing, because he's under pressure and he's under a lot of fear. And that fear is just making it worse. He can't focus and do his job. Allow him to be a human being and make a decision that he think is good in that particular moment. You don't have to comment every single movement of Robert Sanchez or other players. No, it doesn't have to be that way. People have IQs. People sometimes, God created them with a lot of IQ where they can see things that you don't see from the side. So allow them to be human being and make decisions when needed. Freedom. And we saw when he gave them that freedom, when Robert Sanchez was playing with freedom, not afraid of kicking it long because the manager is going to kill me. And bam, what happened? He almost got an assist, a pre-assist. Bam, bam. Malo Gusto playing from his position. Robert Sanchez, horrible passing the ball from the back, but let me kick it long and let's see what's going to happen. Boom, boom, goal for Chelsea. Common sense. You don't have to go always through the middle. Go through the middle, to the left, to the left, to the middle. 1,000 passes, one, until the opposition defense is already organized and you don't have anywhere to go because you took too much time. And
where did Maresca get this style of play from? Where did he get it from?
Probably Pep Guardiola.
But Pep doesn't play like that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Yeah,
because Pep is now using number 9, and when you have a false 9, they all come in and pass it around until they get to score. But I don't know where he got this kind of style from.
But like I said, even if I'm saying that, I saw him now changing using common sense. You know, that's what I said. Like he's not like stuck on what he was doing. At the beginning, he was so bullish and so, yeah, this is how we're going to play. People need to understand this. It's my way or no way too. Finally realizing that this is taking Chelsea to hell. This is not the way. So I like the fact that he saw it. He's not stupid. He saw it. He tried to be me. I'm going to show people until it works with me to understand that Chelsea is not about me. It's about us. What makes sense? It's about we, not me. So if he continues with that spirit of common sense, he's going to be a good manager. He's going to be a very good manager, indeed. Because you don't have to be a magician sometimes to win games. You can just, because the players are already so good, you tell them just to go do your job. Just go there, play your football. We win, even without this complicated system. You know, somebody, I think, what's his name again? One of the Brazilian coaches, he coached Chelsea at some point, but he didn't last. He was like 5 months. Scolari. When he was managing Brazil. He said at halftime, he went to the dressing room. He wanted to give instructions. And he got there. He found Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, those Romario, those big names there that we all know. Like, he got there. Instead of giving the speech, he said that, guys, go out there, win me the game. That's it. He didn't say anything. Take his beer, drink, tell them, go win me the game. Because how good they were, like, what I'm going to tell them, just put them in their position, tell them to win me the game. And they went to destroy. They would destroy the other team outside. So you don't have to always overthink about certain things. You know, Malo Gusto does good. Up and down, cross the ball. Now you have somebody who is good in air, like Delap. Let Delap be in the box and do his thing. Don't force him to be number 6 and connect 1,000 times. The end of the day, a game of football is about scoring goals and winning games, period. Keep it simple. Tell them go enjoy football out there. They are going to deliver. But if so much instructions where people don't even understand what they are doing because it's too much to remember. Right. Gamer said Maresca should start new players. Let me put the on the table. Maresca should start the new players for at least the first 8-10 games. So use guy like Xavi Simons, Gittens, Santos, Hato, etc. So you suggested that they start the season for 10.
Because he's thinking that they are tired. You just said that. We all see pictures of them hanging out at the beach still, and their colleagues are still playing now. Conversely, we were also playing for a long time when they were chilling for almost 2-3 weeks. So when they went away, we kept playing for 3 weeks, and the travel and everything. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. So you start with the newcomers, but the newcomers also need to learn the system. Not only about being tired, but it's about how to play. We should mix them slowly and surely. That's what I want to see. Like, don't force them to play for 90 minutes, for example. And I mean, they have a medical department that just checked on every single little details on players, so they know what they're gonna do. But yeah, it's a good idea to start with new players. But new players just means also they are new in the way we play the system and all that. But yeah, I got you. Should start. The same comment is 1,000 times. This season is all about being flexible, rotation, and good game management. Because the main players are a bit tired right now. Yeah, that's true. And the problem also is you start the season, 2 weeks after that, bloody international break again. That's the problem that I don't understand.
That international break, it's gonna be an issue.
What the hell? And Enzo Fernandez need to go to like fly all over like I don't know, to whatever country.
Yeah, but there's a World Cup here, and players need to prepare. Some of them have not fully qualified yet, so they have to go and finish up.
So that's the problem. Like, imagine Chelsea players who just didn't even have a proper preseason. And the league start 2 weeks after that. You have to cut and go fly again all over the world with your national team, and you come back and continue the league. Because when people say break, it sounds more like, okay, they are taking a break, but it's not a break. They just continue to even play and work hard and fly, travel countries again. That is even torture. So I just football is just going crazy. It's going to the level where it's not special anymore. Every single day you have football somewhere. The same players playing 1,000 tournament. It's
in their defense, right? 50 years ago, not many people had television. Okay, where the game started it has changed with time. 40 years ago, not many television sets. If you wanted to play tournaments often, people will get mad at you because everybody has to travel. They have to make a special occasion out of it. Now, that makes it special. It makes it nice. This is why great tournaments are not done every single year. The Olympics, 4 years, World Cup, 4 years. And so if you want to make sure that any tournament you put out there is coveted and people really, really, really look forward to it, you have to space it out, especially also with the infrastructure that needs to be erected before the games, before the tournament. So it's in terms of its specialty, these days, you can watch an entire freaking tournament wherever you are on the face of the earth on a small little phone. They have to make sure there's content. I mean, right now, anybody, I mean, you, many years ago, won't have this platform, so they need to give us something to talk about. So it is a time that we live in. When the more information they have about the sport, the more we stay out there and the more we, they get to make money out of it. There are many people being born right now and people need jobs. Where do you think the jobs are going to come from? They're going to come from the technologies we have developed and what it allows or permits us to do. And because of that, people will have the jobs at hand to be able to meet the times. So older people get mad because things change. I'm sure our children will be pissed off 100 years from now. And they'll be saying, like, when we were young, we didn't used to do this. Now you could do this, you could do this. Things have changed so much because nobody will really care. So we are really, really going to the south of all of us. So I don't really fault it. The only thing is that if it is, there's so many people in this world, right? China has a billion and a quarter or something, and majority of them don't even care about soccer. India has the same. India doesn't even have a national sport that's called
Cricket.
soccer. They play cricket, exactly. So, but they have a 1.5 billion people. So you have to make sure that you get to a point where you can attract all of these things. So there's the game and the sport, all sports. The people that are in charge sit in the ballrooms all the time, and they all discuss how can we improve the image, get more revenue, and make sure that we stay in the forefront, especially when people can watch it all over the world anytime they want.
If you are worried about content, I think there are many ways of creating content during the breaks. You can go and propose some other kind of content and the games that just happen and analysis and the story behind it, because it used to be in the 2000 where you have to follow a documentary about a village of a player from Africa or something. There are always content. The point I'm trying to make is like too many games is killing football in terms of they are the same players that play in their clubs and also in their national teams. They are the same players who are in all competitions. Champions League, they are there. Premier League, they are there. The Club World Cup, it's them. Like, it's non-stop 24/7. And that also is a way of devaluate also your product, because when you have abundance of product and people are tired and they want to even go and consume another product, like you eat chicken every single day, at some point you might have to go and get some fish because you're sick even of the smell of it. So it's human. What I think
it's sustainable. I think it's sustainable in a sense that they've given us the chance to make 5 substitutes instead of 3. They probably will get to a point where they will allow us. Why did they allow us to buy players before everybody else did? Because they added on a tournament which needed more players, and if your players were not fresh, they said you could go into the market, all exclusive to only the what is it called? The people that were participating in it. People make adjustments with time. When the time demands. For me personally, I do not think it's a problem at all. Football or most sports, it's a get in and get out kind of thing. It's 10, 15 years. Now, I know that, what's the name? Ronaldo and the rest are making it seem like you can play after 40 and all of that. But he's a special specimen. He's been taking care of himself for a long time. But typically, you start from 18, maybe 20, 21, you get your shot, and you're 15 years maximum to 35. you are out of the game, you are considered old. So you go in, your blood is running hot, you are not susceptible to injury, you get paid a ton of money, and if you are good and you invest, you'll be fine with it. So for me, I do not sympathize with them at all. I know that people say, "Oh, they are human beings."
so
They do get the break they need. They do. They play once
well,
a week.
and also
I know that they go.
the
No.
quality
I
you
know out there. No, but this is the point that I want to make though, because people say this all the time. Doctors get pissed off. I remember there was a point where a doctor was being interviewed during COVID time as to when we are going to get the vaccine, and is the vaccine safe? And he said, "Go and ask your footballers. You pay them a fortune, and all they do is kick the ball." And people have a lot of careers that hasn't come anywhere close to this. And the benefit of what they do is they stay in shape for 15 years. And then they got a ton of money. They go home. People have their tables set for food. They have the best looking women in the world. They have a great families for 15 years. And you're gonna tell me that if your break time is 2 months, it's bad. If it's a month, it's bad. Some people would like to be in shape.
they don't get the time that you're talking about, like
Oh,
2 months
they do. They
no,
fly.
like tell 2 months. How are you gonna get
They,
it 2 months?
you're not gonna sit here and argue of the luxury of our footballers. The way we play.
That is
you
another
yourself said
topic
that-
that
No,
you're
that
getting
is
away
all-
from the topic. Like you
No,
didn't
that is
understand
all
my question to me.
included. That is all included in their well-being. If somebody has to take care of your freaking leg and come and massage you every day, they take care of themselves. They have baths, 2 baths, hot and cold. When they finish the game, they go out there. They have great amenities. They are provided for. I'm not going to sit here and say that I sympathize with them. And if they are, how many times have you heard that the player was sick and because of that they couldn't play? Many times you say, Coleman, things that we will walk out there, put on our clothes, and go to work even if we have a simple little cold. When they have cold, they don't even play. When they have a headache, they don't play. They only play. And this is what you do when you have 20 to 35 years. This is what you do. You run around. They are in their elements. That's why nobody's asking them to do it at 60 or 55. I don't sympathize with them. And the club, there's a squad there. If you are in no place to be able to play, all you have to do is tell your manager. And your manager, nobody sits here and advocate for players to play when they are tired, or they have a muscle pull, or they have an ACL, or they have this. No. A lot of us have jobs where you have to do it regardless. I don't have sympathy for them. I don't. And besides that, people do this on minimum wages, real minimum wages. Their minimum wage is $10,000 a week. People will kill for it in the normal days. So for me, you say that, because of their whatever they earn, we should think about as humans. Yes, they are humans, and even in that category, they got it good, Mr. Oz. They got it good. So for me, all is done for them to be in a position to succeed. And if they are not in a position to play, they reject international players all the time. When they are players, when the what is it called, the coaches or their national teams call them and they don't want to go, they say it. They say, "Oh no, I would like to concentrate on my club football right now," and it's vice versa. Sometimes they go and play for nationals, and then their club football is because they are not getting even the play. So there are provisions in there for these players to succeed. Now, I'm not saying that to play 60 games like Caicedo did last year was ridiculous. More than 60 games was ridiculous. But yes, there was weeks, days in between, and that's all they do. And if in between they go and kick the ball around and then they go and rest, and it's adding on to your health. You are staying healthy, you are eating healthy, and then the rest of it is what we pay gyms to go do. We pay. They get it as part of their jobs. Oh, come on. I don't have any sympathy at all.
Okay. I respect your opinion, but the problem is
Yes, go on.
The problem is we're not talking about the same topic here. Like you took it in one angle and you refuse to see the angle I was talking about. But I'm already
what angle are you talking about?
I'm already too very tired.
Okay.
We'll and hungry and need to go. Probably
no, it's fine.
My blue army will come very soon, so I have to disconnect soon.
Take care of them. Okay.
My point was more about the quality of the product. Yes, you can give them 10 subs or 20 subs, but you can understand that they are that category of elite, and then you keep going down and down and down. You're not going to have 11 Cristiano Ronaldo or 22 Cristiano Ronaldo. No matter how many subs they're gonna give you, the quality, the product is going down. And also, the same players, no matter how like the doctors are taking care of them or the money that they are getting paid, there are certain natural ability and natural. It's just like the nature is gonna catch up on you to tell you that you have like they can give you those stimulus to revive your body, kind of forcing your body against the nature. You're gonna walk and walk and walk feeling good and performing, but at some point the nature is gonna catch up on you no matter what. Therefore, you have to respect those mental break, those physical break from everything. But if you continue to, because now they go on holiday, they keep on walking, they keep on training and keeping themselves in shape, but at some point it's gonna catch up on them. And that's why you can see certain players like already 26, 27, they're already going down because they force the body because of technology and medicine and doing this. And now it's gonna break your body even more. But I don't have energy really to go to those little details. But I miss the time where you have to wait for like Thursday night in France to see Canal Plus showing you one game of Manchester United and give you an entire story about Eric Cantona, and you are like, wow, what a guy. Now it's like everything is on second. We judge people all the time. It's instant. It's just you are in, you are out, you are bad, you are good. We have our own justice, immediate justice, where somebody can accuse you of something. Immediately you are condemned. Immediately you are guilty, and the society cancel you. So this past moving of every single little thing need to be now. People need to play more because you get more money. There's no enjoyment. There is no quality the way we used to anticipate. Like, wow, we are waiting for Sky Sport yellow tag to get surprise of, oh my goodness, Drogba is signing for Chelsea. Oh my goodness, Sky Sport, yellow tag. And you start jumping. You didn't know anything. So all this is just a mixture of stuff that I don't even know what I'm talking about because my mind is tired. But it's too much of something. It's just killing the product.
Yeah, I mean, I will let you go. I will let you go. You have to go. So, I will say that what you are saying makes sense. It's one little comment that I want to make because I've heard it so many times. This thing about cancel culture and what is the woke or whatever. It's just some people just are saying, be careful with what you say because it's replacing people just hurting others with what they say. And the thing is this: say nobody's gonna do anything, but if you are going to say what you want to say, be careful, and the response you might get a response that is not good because we want to live in a world where everybody feels comfortable, everybody feels like they are valued and they are important, and you can't have people say whatever they want to say to hurt others. Now, if you go and say it, it's still fine. There shouldn't be any laws to hurt you, but you have to also be prepared for the consequences. So I subscribe to that big time, but I feel like the game in terms of the game itself has improved. I mean, these days we have numbers. Nobody used to talk about GAs, goals and assists. Nobody used to talk about heat numbers. Nobody used to the field they play on is sumptuous. Like these days, it's like a carpet in your living room. Like the boots are all synthesized, all scientific based. The boots that we used to wear is nowhere close to what they wear these days. Everything has improved in terms of the technology has made things much easier if you are going to talk about that. So I feel like in
But
that case,
also it's destroying everything that human creation is. Like today, you might lose your job tomorrow because of the AI thing, right? who is doing everything. Musicians are not musicians anymore. You can just get on computer now and make a great song that sounds even more better than Michael Jackson in the
But
80s.
also, have you thought about?
You know,
Have you thought about if this is a trend because you know to compare it to something else? People that are born today, in 50 years, they will compare it to today, and the songs they will make then, people will miss the songs they make
so
today.
it's just
I am sure.
like I said, it's just the way things are moving. You think they have improved, but I tell you that they haven't really improved in the term of it just killing the human thing.
No
Yeah,
question,
because they have the
no
best
question about
doctors,
that.
or you have it
question.
doesn't make it more quality than what we have.
No question about it.
You know,
No question
what we
about
had
that.
back
Social media today is the reason why hate, for instance, hate is able to recognize itself in so many other people around the world, and it's all through social media. About 70 years ago, they wouldn't even know that a person that has the same thinking existed in Australia. If they were in America or if they were in Africa, the same person existed. So there are bad aspects of this, but overall, it's an improvement in our lives, So you take the good and the bad, basically, and sports will not be
I don't
affected.
see what AI who just took 1,000 jobs in the company is going to improve your lifestyle, because you don't have a job. What are you going to do? Beg for Donald Trump to send you stamp food, and he already blocked the freaking stamp food for people who are struggling. What are you going to find?
Do you know how many jobs YouTube have provided to the world?
But that is, but
I'm saying to you, but YouTube was not there many years ago, and now that it's here now, it has given us. So we find a way. The thing is, we are not going to compete with.
I'm in the business and I understand a little bit more. What I say, like YouTube, you know how many lazy people YouTube already created, or how many characters that people who get there just yell at people just to be a character, create a gimmick so I can get just some bread at the end of the month. So how many jobs, like real job, on go to a freaking factory and go work for Ford company the way I used to do for 12 freaking hours in the heat, making the vehicle that you are driving today. People don't want to do that because there is a TikTok. Put a little bit of dance or take your clothes. All the girls now, they will prefer to have a career in certain website. I don't want to say here, but a young kid, she refused to go to school because in school it's not gonna make money. That if she leaves her things out and starts selling it on social media, so you're gonna find me one thing or the thing or the world has improved because of what is happening, and I can name you 10 other bad things that same thing created that is killing the society. So
you have a great point there. But what and I have listened to you, but I believe that it as an entity, as an improvement to our lives, is much better.
Bro, it took me, I don't know how many months of research, asking people, interview, going on the field, writing, and my mentor keep on denying my thesis, and I keep on going, and then what I did wrong and what I did, and your freaking chat GPT from whatever it is, and kids today, they can cheat on their exam. They can write you the best of the best presentation ever in few seconds. How that is helping you? Because your mind is empty.
I teach too. But what I'm saying is that I understand plagiarism is a problem, like you were trying to describe that. But there will be mechanisms that we have to put in place. We are not going to, there will be a time, even when it gets to 100, 200 years from now, okay, what is going to happen is the people in that generation will find a way to deal with it. Now, we'll get to a point where we will kill each other or whatever. We don't never know. Nobody can predict the future. But what you are used to is not what is not going to be today or tomorrow, because humans
What is the point of school right now?
The point of school was to educate, but not a lot of people don't believe in schools. A
They
lot of
don't
people
believe.
don't
More
believe.
and more
A lot
people
of no, a
prefer to
lot of
sit at
people don't
home
believe.
and trust
A lot of
Chat GPT and
yeah, a lot of people
do.
don't believe in that. A lot of people don't believe in that. That's the problem. A lot of people don't believe in school, and even people who go to school don't think that the education is worth the money that they invest. So we are getting to an era where if people look at the people that have changed our lives, the person that made the iPhone I'm holding right now, got out of school. Facebook guy got out of school. Fine, they went to school all the way to the university level, but they never really
But they
finished.
went to
You
their garage and they
yeah,
worked with their
exactly,
head and they worked with
exactly.
their hand to make
Yes.
something. But now it looks like everything is in the freaking cell phone
Oh
where
no,
you
no,
have to
but
make
people who do
TikTok
quality work,
dances, but because you have a good body
TikTok
and
doesn't. TikTok doesn't. You
and
cannot live on
people
TikTok.
start giving you
If
money more than if you are paid monthly because you are showing some part of your body because you are beautiful and
Oh no,
that is your job.
excuse my language, prostitution and women exposing themselves for money has been with us since time immemorial. It didn't start yesterday. Now it has come with the times that you can expose yourself that in that way on a video for the worldwide to see. That has been with us for a long time. There's nothing happening right now that has not happened. We just see it in a different way, in a sense that it's presented to us in a different way, us. And I feel like there's nostalgia because we are a little bit older. So remember how we used to be disciplined, we used to do this, we used to do that. Things have changed. And if we still hanker for the past all the time because it used to be that way, no. And like I said, I give you an example. Like our kids, 50, 100 years from now, grandchildren will be like, oh, they will tell their children, you got it good. When we were living, we never used to do this. We never used to do that. Because I'm sure 200 years from now, they never expected us to have iPhones and be sitting on it. We were actually able to talk to ourselves, all the time and have people that we can see, feel, and touch. And today I'm talking to you, I don't know where on earth you could be, and you could be talking to somebody from India. And that has improved our lives because if I'm sitting here and I'm lonely, but every now and then when you come online, I'm able to talk to you, I know I feel like I have company, and I don't go out there and shoot myself. So there are improvement in areas that will help us navigate whatever comes along the line based on the technology, because we're not going to go back. People knowing that this thing exists doesn't mean that all of us they're going to put it on the side. I don't want to keep you away from the Blue Army. You have to prepare for them. I know that this conversation is here because I took you there. I don't want to take you there and
No
drag it
problem,
along.
my friend.
You have
Thank
been
you so much.
amazing. I will see you again when you come on next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. So, yeah, thank you for understanding. People, I have to go. God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a lot of content because Chelsea are back, training sessions and all that preseason. So, yeah, I'm going to have to leave.